guys, going for a fish on the kayaks up north for 5 nights, stopping at Kirikiri for 1 night, Tauranga Bay for 2 nights, and then Whatuwhiwhi for another 2 nights. Should be some fun hooking in some monster as fish. See you up there.
Here I'm just crossing the harbour bridge, driving up for the first night, spending Kirikiri. I hopped on the water later that afternoon for a little fish with soft baits and lures. I hooked into a nice legal snapper.
I got it.
After that snapper, I got a couple more little ones that weren't keepers, so I just started to head back in. As I was paddling in, old mate on the shore fell into the water, which was real funny. Let's have another look at that here. Beautiful view of Tauranga Bay. This is day 2 where I'm staying at Tauranga Bay and fishing in the Whangaroa Harbour. This spot had a ton of fish and you were catching them every drop, but they were all just undersized. When I was paddling around this island, I found all these little bait fish, which you can see there. They were just getting chased by mullet, and they were just all around the island. I thought I might have been able to hook one, but it seemed like they weren't very hungry for what I was casting, and in the end I was just trying to foul hook them because they weren't really eating. But it was a great view anyway, even though I wasn't catching any. At this spot I gave it another shot, and luckily I managed to hook up to one, but surprisingly this was a parori, not a mullet. And I gave it a nice release, because we didn't really want a parori. The mullet weren't shy either. They were coming up real close to the kayak, as you can see there, so it was quite cool to see them in detail up close.
I want to get a mullet.
After I'd had enough of looking at the mullet, I decided to paddle out into deeper water and just drop some baits and lures. What you're about to see doesn't happen often. got 2 fish on 1 lure.
I reckon this might be a keeper. Yeah, boy.
After a nice day out on the water, just fried up some snapper for dinner. Yes, I do like mayo. Day 3, I was heading out to the same spot in Whangaroa Harbour. Didn't take long to get the first bites. As I hooked into this fish, it felt much better than the last one. As it started to swim everywhere and jump, I noticed it was a kahawai.
Bro, that is huge. Don't put in the net. That's a PB.
Turned out it was a PB, which was awesome. At the end of the day, I had some nice fish in the bag, so I filleted them up.
Kahawai going on the wraps.
After my time was done fishing at Whangaroa Harbour, I made my way up to Whatuwhiwhi, but along the way I stopped at Manganui and had a bit of a fish off the wharf. When you were looking down into the water, you could see thousands of little fish, as you might be able to see. This guy next to me caught an octopus, which was really cool, because you don't see many octopus around. As the octopus was released, it inked in the water, which you can see there. This fishing boat came up to the dock, and you can see those massive snapper's tails hanging out the back of those buckets. The before heading off, I called into the Foursquare to get a slushie. On the way to Fatuwhiwhi, there's this really cool fishing shop, so I popped in to get a couple things. On day 4 it was too windy to take the kayaks out, so I found a sheltered beach and had a nice swim at it. Time to play some catch. After my swim, I had a little look in this big rock pool, and as you could see there were lots of kinna all along the bottom, and then there's heaps of bait fish swimming all along the top of the water. This rock seemed pretty good for fishing off, so I had a flick of my stick bait. Sadly, no fish were caught. Here on day 5 it was my last day of fishing, so I went to Cooper's Beach and had a little fish in the bay. I saw some action where birds were diving and fish were jumping, so I headed over for a look. After many casts, I hooked up to a nice fish. If you don't like blood, look away now. Here I'm bleeding the fish, which makes the meat of this specific fish taste much better. If you don't bleed it, the quality and taste won't be as good. After a while, the bite went off, so I was just drifting back into shore and ready to go in for lunch.
Yo, what'd you get?
Snapper. Nice one. GoPro died though, so I couldn't put it on camera. Just on the softie.
Nice.
Another fish. Silk. Hey guys, my GoPro died and we went out on the water for another hour. I got 2 more snappers on the soft bait. They're getting other fish other than kahawai. Pretty good. Go chuck them on the ice. So, kahawai. There's all the kahawai. Put the snapper in there. Nice haul. See you guys later.
The next day we packed up and headed home, but on the way I stopped off at the pack house markets in Kirikiri. It's a really cool market and it's worth a stop if you're passing by. In the end, it was a great trip, full of fun, lots of fish, and that's it really from me. So thanks for watching and see you next time.